Okay, hi guys, this is Tim from Wolves Archery, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. We get calls out all the time for my venison jerky, and what I do, I think it's just a really neat thing to do at Christmas time, because I'm not the richest guy in the world. I don't really have any money. So what I do is I make venison jerky, and I give it away as gifts. And to be honest, I think more people appreciate my venison jerky than getting a sweater. So I'm just clearing out some area here so I can show you guys how I prepare my brine. Okay. Now the venison jerky is different. Tonight we're going to make beef jerky. Alright, and beef jerky is real easy to make. I'm just going to show you my ingredients and how I make the brine, and then I'm going to show you how I cut the beef into slices. We're going to try to make this as quick as possible because there's no reason to make a big long video, you know, out of something that's really simple to do. And this really is simple to do. Now, to make the brine, you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ingredients. Okay? And I'm missing one of them, but that's okay. I just found it. I knew it was here. I just didn't know where I put it. Okay, so what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to start off real basic. We use, you know, I don't have a smoker, so we just use liquid smoke. And if you think it's cheating, too bad. Stuff works great. They started putting them in plastic bottles now. They used to be in glass bottles. They come in these oh boy, my back is killing me. I just had back surgery, so bear with me, folks. They come in these 4-ounce plastic bottles, and they used to be glass. But what the kids would do in the grocery stores, they would take them and throw them on the floor and break them, and this stuff smells. So, if you've got a girlfriend or a wife that doesn't appreciate liquid smoke, you're going to have to find a spot in the garage or in a shed somewhere to make your jerky, because this stuff smells. Whoa! You know what it smells like? It smells like after you put the fire out and you douse it out with water. That's just what it smells like. I mean, oh, to me it smells wonderful. I just love it. So you just I take 2 of these. Now, depending on how much meat you have, like I've got a little over 3.5 pounds of meat, I believe. Let me just pull the meat out here and just look at it. I'm going to show you what kind of meat I use for this too, because you don't want to use choice cuts of meat for making jerky. Why waste the meat? Alright, this one piece right here is almost 1.5 pounds, and it's $3.99 a pound. So that's pretty cheap for beef. Okay, and it's almost 1 inch thick. You see how it is? But see, there's no marbling to it. Okay? You don't want any marbling to it at all. But we'll get back to the meat a little bit later. And I've got 2 of these, and that's the smaller one of the 2. And I got another one here. And this one is almost 2 pounds. Okay? But we're not going to get that much. You know, we got to cut off all this fat. You know, all this fat's got to come off. And there's a reason why you want to cut all that fat off. If you want to save this for any length of time, you got to cut this fat off. All that fat right there, that's all got to come off. Okay, so let's just put these to the side for now. And notice I'm wearing gloves. Okay. Now, we're just going to take, let's get the camera. Let me take these gloves off now. I don't need these on anymore because I showed you the meat. We're going to point the camera at the meat, at the pot itself. So you guys can see what I'm doing. Like that, I suppose. How's that look? Can you see pretty good? Alright, I just dropped something on the floor. We're just going to kick it over there because I can't bend over. Now we take our first, pour all your liquids in first. And now I've got almost 3 pounds of meat. So I don't mind, you know, these liquid smokes are about $1 a piece. So, you know, don't be cheap. Buy a couple of them. Okay? I usually buy about 20 of them. I buy the whole, whatever they have. If they've got 2 dozen of these on the rack, I buy them all. Buy every single one of them. Okay, now we got, let's turn the burner on. And we're going to turn it right up to about medium high for right now. Okay? Now we got some teriyaki sauce. And like I said, all these ingredients that we're using are just all just cheap, you know, ingredients. And you see, do you see me with a measuring cup? No, I don't have a measuring cup. I do everything by eye. Pour your teriyaki sauce in there till you go around a few times. It looks good to me. How about you? Alright? Looks good to me. So put that over there. We're all done with that. I got a little bit of soy sauce. Okay? Now the soy sauce, you only want to put, that's it. Just a little bit. Okay? Now we've got honey. Yeah, baby. And the honey, you can use as much as you want. But I just keep going around and around and around. Honey will not hurt this at all. And one thing about honey, it'll never go bad. And if you didn't know that, look it up. There's been honey found in tombs that were thousands of years old where you could eat the honey. And that's the truth. You think I'm putting in too much honey? It comes out slow. So I'm not really putting in that much. Okay. I think we got enough. Alright, let's put the honey back. Now we got all of that in there. Now, brown sugar. Okay? And you can use light brown sugar, dark brown sugar. It don't really matter. I usually put about a cup in there. And I'm pretty good at eyeballing it. And we got quite a bit, so we'll put a little bit more in there. Okay, now make sure when you take your brown sugar that you bag this up right away. Okay, we'll just grab a bag here. Probably should have had this out and ready for you before I almost dropped my cane before I did this, but that's alright. So now that should heat up some more anyways. Let's turn that burner right up, get it going hot, because I want the next ingredients need to dissolve, like the brown sugar needs dissolve really good. Okay, so now close up your brown sugar, okay, as best you can, and get as much of that air out of it as you possibly can. Because if you don't, it'll get rock hard, and it's really a pain in the ass to work with. Now, this is the preservative, okay? Sea salt. Brand new package, because I used up all my other sea salt. And you got to be kind of liberal with this. All right. Okay, and I use probably about a quarter cup of sea salt. All right. And then we got some black pepper. Okay, probably about a teaspoonful. Okay, so that's that. Now it's starting to come to a boil, and what we want to do is get all these things stirred up. Now there's one more ingredient that goes in here, and that's water. But you haven't seen me throw any in there yet, right? The reason for that. The water is going to help me chill the brine down. Because we can't use the brine if it's hot. It'll just cook the meat. And we don't want to cook the meat. What we want to do is let the meat soak into the brine. Or the brine soak into the meat. But you got to make sure that all that salt, oh, let's turn that burner down. All that salt and all that sugar is all dissolved. It's got to be all dissolved before you go any further. Okay? Alright. How are we doing? See, we still got salt in there. You let that cook. Now we're going to get some water. Cold water, ice cold. Cold as you can get it. I like doing this over the winter time because I can take the whole pot of brine and just stick it in a snowbank. Okay, that's 1 cup. Well, not 1 cup, but we're going to probably put a couple of those in here. And what I'm looking for is salt that isn't dissolved. Still a little bit left. And that's okay too, because you can have, you know, some salt on the meat as well, which is kind of cool. So what we're going to do is shut this off right away. Just turn it right off. Now take it off the heat. All right, you all see that? Got it off the heat. Add your water. Let me get another one. Okay, and that's good. That's good. Now, let that stir all up. And believe me, this brine isn't good for anything else. And I mean nothing. And it really smells. It really does. It stinks. Okay, so now we just let that cool down. What I'd like to do, this is very hot. We're going to try to clear out some area here. And what we're going to plan to do is move the meat over to there, and then I can show you how I cut my meat. Okay, we're almost there, folks. Almost there. Oh. Oh. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is bring the meat right over here. Just like that. Okay. And I'll get rid of all the extra stuff we don't need. Okay. Don't need none of that. Now, let's take our camera and put it right about. I guess that'll work. I'm no cameraman, folks. I'm sorry. Let me try to do this a little better. How about if I do this? Now, can you all see me up there? Let me see here. Where's my knife? Oh, there's my knife. Okay. Now, what I like to do is, I got a sharpener here. Just wipe off some of this gobbledygook that's on there. We got our meat here. Nice, huh? You think that's nice meat? That's garbage. This is garbage meat. But, let's just take our knife, and I got a simple sharpener here, okay? Came with the knife. And just run it through there a few times. Sharpen it up. I can feel that that's plenty sharp. Now you're going to look on here. You see all those bits of fat? See all that fat? That's all going to come off. So simply just cut that fat off. Try not to be too fussy, folks. You'll be here all freaking day. Just cut the meat out, you know, cut the fat off of it. Okay? Now, now you know that there's more fat on this one I gotta cut off. But I'm gonna show you how to simply cut this meat. Alright? And there's a way to cut this meat. See the way the grain of the meat goes? It's like that. You want to cut with that grain. Right? About 1/4 inch. Now the first one might come out a little messed up. Okay? But then the second one, you should be dead on. Pretty close. Like that. See how I'm doing it? Just keep doing that. All the way through. And you got to have a sharp knife to do this. And a little patience. Okay? And that's a long cut right here. So just start at one end and just come all the way through the other end. And if you notice, the meat itself wasn't even. So we evened it. And now the next cut is perfect. Look at that. See that? See how thin that is? Okay. And see how open it is, the meat? I don't know if you can see that or not. But we'll continue on here with this one piece. And after I get done cutting up this one piece, I'm going to show you what these pieces look like. Okay? So I'll go quickly here. I've been doing this for so long I can go a little bit quicker. But I use a regular fillet knife for this. I love my fillet knife. I use it for everything. My Finlandia fillet knife. And gotta have grapes on when you're making these too. Yep. There's a reason for everything. Grapes are good. Okay. Now see, if it was still winter, it's springtime now, it's in April, you know, just past mid-April. If there was snowbanks outside, I would just take this brine, bring it outside, and just pop it right on top of the snowbank. And by the time I got done cutting up both pieces of this meat, I'd be ready to put it in the brine. And then tomorrow morning, I'd put it in my dehydrator. And by tomorrow night, I'd be eating beef jerky. But instead, looks like it's just going to be the opposite. Okay. Let me just show you what we got here now. See how that meat is separated? Like that? Okay? I don't know if you can see that. See how it's separated? That's what you want. If you cut it the other way, alright, you're going to have this long, hard strip of meat that looks like this. Okay? Like that. And you don't want that. But that's all, you know, your beef jerky there. And now I'm going to just, you know, do the same thing with this one. Okay? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in a plastic baggie. Okay? Put them in the refrigerator. And then tomorrow morning, or maybe even if I can get this cool enough tonight, maybe even tonight I'll yeah, that's still hot enough that it'll cook the meat. And it tastes terrible. Yeah. I will tell you this. It don't taste when you make the let me grab my cane so I can stand up here. Oh, so sorry folks. I had terrible back surgery. But when you make your brine, okay, and you make your strips and then you put them all together and you let them soak and then you put them in your dehydrator. Okay, I got the dehydrator up there. And then you dehydrate it for about, I don't know, 6 to 8 hours. I don't like to dehydrate it so it's bone dry, so it's like crispy in your mouth. I don't like that. I like there to be a little bit of a chew to it, and then I throw mine in the refrigerator so it doesn't spoil. So, anyways, I'll let that cool down. I'll put it in the refrigerator so it'll cool down. Probably within an hour or so it'll be ready for me to put the meat in. And then I wish there was a way I could show you. I don't know how to work this camera, pause it and then come back and then, you know, restart the film and do all that. If I could, I would be able to do that. I don't see a setting on there for that. This was a cheap camera I bought a couple years ago. But as I progress, you know, maybe I'll get a better camera. Anyways, that's how I make beef jerky. And maybe I'll share some. Maybe. Someone takes me fishing. I can't drive. So do stuff like this. You know, this is a great way to pass the time. And you know what's also great about this stuff is that when deer season comes around, you have this kind of stuff to take with you up in the deer stand with you. And it's really great to have when your stomach starts to growl. It's just a, you know, grab a piece of beef jerky and gnaw on that for a while, and it'll take your hunger away, and it'll keep you in the woods, and that's how you get deer. You get deer in the woods. You know, you don't get them sitting on the couch watching some other guy on you know, one of these outdoor shows get them. I actually can't stand watching them shows anymore. It really just drives me crazy. You know, I want to take my bows and go out into the woods and shoot my own deer. I don't want to watch somebody else do it. I want to do it. So in order for me to do that, I've got to be able to stay in the woods. So I'm trying to find a way, any way I can, to spend more time in those woods. So this is Tim from Wolves Archery. I hope you had fun in my first cooking class here. Next time I'm going to show you how to make some venison jerky. And I don't do it this way. I use ground venison when I make my jerky. And I'll show you all how to do that. It's the only way to do it. And I'll tell you why when we get there. But first of all, I got to get me a deer. Well, it's not deer season yet. It's still only April. So we got a ways to go. But turkey season's right around the corner. Maybe we'll make some turkey jerky. Alright, we'll see you all later. This is Tim from Wolves Archery. Get out there and have some fun, and if you're interested in one of my bows, you know, give me a call and send me a message, and we can talk back and forth, and I can, you know, I got a lot of information that I can share, and if I don't have the information, I can put you in the right direction and tell you who can. Y'all take care and have a good night. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye now.